Hi everyone, it's Mackenzie here. Thanks so much for joining me for this video on the 2 questions that I wish every emotional eater had in their back pocket. Okay, so I want you to imagine you're headed to the cupboard, you're not physically hungry, it's maybe the second time you've come back to the cupboards, it's maybe the 4th, it's maybe the 12th. Maybe you're headed to the refrigerator on autopilot. And again, you're not physically hungry, but you just can't stop thinking about the food. Maybe you're in the grocery store and you're adding food to the cart that you know that doesn't optimally feed you. Okay, so I want you to take these 2 questions and use them in times like these. These 2 questions are great because they allow us to get underneath the food. It can be really hard to explore beyond the food because sometimes we think it's all about the food. And for those of us who believe that it's not just about the food, it can be hard to know where to even start. So my hope is these 2 questions are helpful for you in these times when you just can't seem to stop thinking about the food. Okay, so this first question is, if I wasn't thinking about the food, what would I be thinking about? Okay, so if I wasn't thinking about the food, what would I be thinking about? You might notice that you'd be thinking about work, or maybe a really hard conversation that you're avoiding, or perhaps you're procrastinating something, a project at home, or something at work. Maybe you've just had a really stressful day. We take on so much more stress than we realize. So just being alive can be enough to feel stress. So think about this. If I wasn't thinking about the food, what would I be thinking about? All right. So now the second question is very similar to the first, yet it has a subtle difference that's very important. And the second question is, if I wasn't thinking about the food, what would I be feeling? If I wasn't thinking about the food, what would I be feeling? Okay, so maybe you're stuffing down your feelings. Maybe you're eating your feelings. Okay, maybe there's an unpleasant sensation and pleasant emotion, feeling that's happening that you're pushing away or avoiding or numbing. Okay, so think about this. If I wasn't thinking about the food, or if I wasn't eating this food, what would I be feeling? My hope is these 2 questions help you go underneath the food. They help you go below the food so you can understand more about what's underneath your emotional eating. I am cheering you on, and I hope this has been helpful for you today. Bye-bye.